Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we are going to do a heart based on the artworks of Romero Britto, who is a contemporary artist who does art with beautiful, thick black lines and then lots of bright color and pattern. You can see that I have used my India ink daubers here to make my thick lines. And then we are going to use watercolor paint today to put in the color. So we're going to do this in two parts today, because we are going to do the India ink and then give it time to dry for a couple minutes before we put in the color. So when we do ours today, we are going to make a big heart that is going to fill the page. You can see this goes from almost the top to the bottom. And we're not going to use any tracers. So instead today, here's a little trick to draw a heart. If you don't know how, if you just look at the very top here, this is the letter M. So if you start with the letter M at the top, a lowercase m, you will have the top of a heart. Then from there, it comes down, both sides go to the same point. So that's kind of a trick to help you get your heart today. So I'm going to take my India ink dauber and start with my letter M at the top. Now if you know how to do a heart already, that's great. You can either put your paper vertical like this, or you can turn it to make your heart more horizontal. Either one is fine with me. Since my other one was vertical, I think this one I'm going to do horizontal. So my letter M is going to be really big, and it's not even, and that's totally okay. So I'm going to make a big black line. Then I'm going to put a dot at the bottom. And now I'm going to bring the bottom of the M to the bottom of the page where that dot was. Inside here now, I'm going to create pattern. My other one, I did a curved line pattern. So on this one, I think I'm going to do a straight line pattern. I always like trying different patterns. It gives you an idea too of what you can use. The one thing I am going to do is I'm going to go around the outside again and give it a double thick line. So you want to press down with the India ink dauber. You don't want to squeeze the bottle because that will make a mess. And then I think I'm going to come across here and do my pattern. And then I'm going to leave it alone because that's all I need. So when you go to your table today, you are going to draw your heart. You can start with the letter M and then bring it down to a point and put a pattern inside, a simple pattern, nothing complicated. You can do your paper horizontally or you can do your paper vertically. It does not matter. So I'm going to pause the video here and we're going to go do our heart. When you are done with your heart, please come back to the carpet for the second part of the lesson. All right, now that we have drawn our hearts, we're letting them dry a little bit at our tables. We're going to come in with watercolor paint. This is called watercolor because it requires water to work. None of it should be thick when we use it. The pattern on the outside of the heart today, we are going to do a dabbed pattern. We're going to take our brush and dab or dot with our brush. The inside, we're actually going to paint with color. You have to wake up the paint. So I'm going to take my water and I'm going to put a little bit inside of each color just to get it started, to wake it up. When you're using these, we never ever dig into the paint. You take your brush and you brush over the top of the paint to pick up your color. This has the color on it already. You can see the red there, and I did not dig into my paint. We're going to stay inside the black lines. We're going to make a pattern. We are going to brush inside. Now if your paint comes like that, see these scratchy lines? What you need is more water. I didn't even put my brush back in the paint. I just dipped it in the water. Now watch. I can move it. It's watercolor. It's really cool how that happens. So I'm going to speed up the video so that you can see my pattern, and then we'll talk about the outside. All right, now that I have my heart colored, or painted, I'm going to do the outside with little dabbing motions. When you do this, you want to do colors that you know are going to blend well together, that are either next to each other on the color wheel, or that are primary colors mixed with a color that has a primary color in it. For example, I could do yellow and orange together because they're next to each other. Or I could do red and purple together because the color red is in the color purple, so I know that they're gonna go well together. You're simply gonna take your brush, wipe it into your paint, and then come and make dots in the background. I'm gonna do it in kind of sections so that I have different color sections. So I'm going to do yellow along with that green because yellow and green are next to each other on the color wheel. I'm just gonna dab to get my color on. I'm gonna go on to my next section. I'm gonna do blue. Remember, this is watercolor. It takes water to work. I know I say that a lot, but it's really important to have it really light when you use it. Now, green is next to blue, so I'm gonna put green next to it because I know that they will mix well together. So we're not painting the background, we are just making dots, and we're letting those colors mix naturally. I'm gonna come into my next section, use some water to wake up my purple. I'll hold my paper here where it's dry. So you get the idea, you're going to dot to fill the sections. When you are done today, this is gonna go to the drying rack, to dry, and then I'm gonna hang these up in the hallway so that we have some really cool looking hearts for Valentine's Day. And then after Valentine's Day, you guys will get to take them home. Brushes and water go to the sink because you have to clean up after yourself. Mats go to the drive-through. Have to take care of your belongings. All right, I'm just about finished here. Let me dab my last little bit. This doesn't take a long time. All right, there we go. So second grade, this is what we're gonna do today. I hope you guys enjoy it.